And Dana, have you seen the painting in Huntington?
Yeah.
Pretty good.
It's fairly boring, actually.
I saw the bit where he comes on the tip. She's holding the camera, and he's screwing up, and Dina goes, Dina's going. Said, and the funny strippers going, mind you, fucking
Horrible.
Baby's arm, I saw the fucking cock.
Have a president. Stasera voglio venire con te.
Tonight, I want to come
Tu
with
sei
you.
così bella. Ti voglio
You're so
chiamare proprio adesso. Sotto la luna, così
I
bella.
wanna fuck you.
Tu sei così calda, caldissima
You're so hot.
infatti.
I think terror
Sei
protection
tutta
should be
bagnata,
reduced.
tutta bagnata.
You're all wet.
Non so che cazzo fare. Che
I just
cazzo
don't know what to do.
Così duro,
What is the role of the backbencher?
così duro,
Oh, I am so hard.
così duro.
Oh,
No, non adesso, no, più, no, non posso.
No, no,
non
no
ne
more.
posso più.
I can't cope, no.
Lasciami stare.
Who won the second semi-final in 74?
That's what fame is all about. That's what fame is all about. That's what fame is all
There's a guy called Judah who, when I was in Springvale, when I was growing up in Springvale, he was the Springvale guitar hero, and everyone used to say he was legendary. He was. And I remember he I think he went to primary school as well, but he was the first kid that I knew. He showed me how to play Black Dog on acoustic guitar, and that was pretty popular. And he was, that was like he was the thing, and he ended up walking in front of the front.
In a tiny inner city pub, the amps were being stacked. Leads were getting wound up. It was full of pissed Anzacs. Got no more gigs for Tuesday nights, said the barman to the Star. We're putting pokies in the lounge and strippers in the bar. The Star, he raised his fingers and said, fuck this fucking hole. But to his faithful roadie he said, it's the death of rock and roll. There ain't a single place that's left to play amplified guitar. Every place is serving long blacks has become a tapas bar. His dirty denim jacket was gaffed and turning black. Hair was missing on his forehead, but it reached right down his back. I don't blame that barman bastard, he told his roadie. Hey, fuck no. I blame all those faggot wankers who are playing this techno. Brothers can work it out, get fucked, they can kiss my rotten ass. Work out what happened to real music is what I'd like to ask. Everything is all machine, run with MIDI and ADAT. but all they do is go ping, ping, ping like a truck that's backing back. Who the fuck are the Chemical Brothers that they now call the shots? Goldie's the name of a light beer, Elastica holds up socks. The roadie sat there silent next to the ejaculating star. What's the fucking point of drum and bass if no one can play guitar? Ozzy. Have you seen those fucking clubbers with their peroxided dreads, dressed up in fucking Adidas like fucking fucked fuckheads? I wouldn't drop a tab of E if you fucking paid me, man. I got the guts for LSD and the only jungle I know is Nam. His roadie sat still silent, but then he finally began to speak. Actually, Star, I maybe should've told you this last week, but I scored a job as DJ at the latest techno club. I'm sick of working with a loser. See you later, bub. Well, the roadie owned the PA and the roadie owned the ute, and the roadie told Star to get out or he'd bash one up his chute. And there on that cold freeway, Star walked along alone. Of course he'd been kicked out halfway between emergency telephones. Fuck yous all, said Star aloud in the emergency stopping lane. To quote from that chick Juliet, hey, what's in a name? A good song's just a good song, just the same as long ago. But dress it up as something new and suddenly you're Picasso. Every white bald pommick cunt thinks that you're so hip. Read NME from 10 years ago and there's all the same dick slip. Prodigy are just the band who are getting it this year. Rolling Stones got no more cred than fucking New Idea. Star's anguished voice rose in grief as he cried unto the moon. In the end, when all is said and done, a tune's just a fucking tune. Star played his amp far too loud, his hearing was sorta gone. So he never heard the grinding squeal as the truckie put the brakes on. 26 road train wheels played a tune upon his head. He just wandered into the traffic, the distraught driver said. The cops had seen it all before, the ambos washed the freeway clean. There ain't no contest when you put a man against a machine.
It was such a ridiculous thing to be famous in Springvale. But when you're growing up and you're living in Springvale, the world is Springvale. So everything is. You don't know anybody who pretty much lives anywhere much outside of the 317 something postcodes. And
Kate, Fischer of Men. I know he owns a paper, Kate, but I buy one every day. It's not that he's rich and successful that you love him, so you say, which makes me feel so much better, Kate, 'cause I'm not any of those. And just like him, that's got nothing to do with my abilities. God, no. As it is, I'm still renting and the place can get a little drab, but at least you know in 2 decades' time I won't look like his dad. There's a tall poppy syndrome, Kate, that is ready to attack. Come with me and I'll guarantee you won't get any of that flack. There's sneering, two-bit, disaffected, maladjusted types, ready with their oh-so moral high-ground jeering hype, condemning you just because you are who you are. I'd drive around now and rescue you, except the diff's gone on my car. It's not too late to give him the A and come with me to Airport West. We've got a brand new shopping mall with an 8-cinema multiplex. There's a half-tube skateboard ramp and the water slide's the best. Down Airport East they say we're snobs, but I know you'll be impressed. In Airport East they ain't got much, so all they do is slag, just like the people whose weddings don't make the women's mags. I'm interested in Wogball, and I really like Akadaka. And I'm better than him 'cause I'm a storeman as well as being a packer. 'Course, I'm a bit short of cash right now, and before rumors get about, anyone says I like you for your dough, I'll snap the bastard out. If I marry you, I'll be famous, Kate, but they won't take my privacy. Enough about me. What about you? What do you think of me? I'll just assume it's a done deal then, and get on with the rest, like finalizing photo rights and which tabloid offers the best. Give it a break, Kate. You can't complain if we make a buck. Our marriage could set us up for life with a little bit of luck. I could be rich and famous, Kate. Just you mark my words. Why marry some unknown jerk from the outer suburbs? My brilliant Huntington's Chorea. Huntington's disease, however, is a rare fatal inherited disorder for which no known cure exists. The patient suffers progressive loss of mental functioning due to brain cell death in the region of the basal ganglia, along with depletion of some neurotransmitters and the buildup of another, dopamine. The symptoms appear at almost any age, but commonly it is in the 30s and 40s, and death follows in 10 to 20 years. Once my life was easy, it was just like watching TV, and I was just the lucky audience member whose playing Price is Right I came on down every night. Could come 5 times a night too, I remember. But let me tell you, pal, that there's another game as well, and you won't see the fucker on TV. It's called Fortune's Wheel, and no matter how you feel, Adriana will turn the letters R.I.P. One day it's gonna start, everything will fall apart. There's programming too in your bones. One night you go out dancing thinking that you're Hanson, then you wake up and you are the Rolling Stones. All of life is lived in stages. You're going out to rages, and you and your friends know all the right grooves. But there ain't no use hiding, the cells have begun dividing, and it's time you learnt the dopamine moves. Don't you get a fucking choco when you watch one of those docos about those diseases that means you're born with flippers? Oh, you're feeling sort of well, and next thing you know, it's the Peter McCallum for the haircut they give you without clippers. You won't be fucking laughing, son, when you're interviewed by Parkinson, or you're on the forgotten mini-series called Alzheimer. You'll be picking up the tab when they order you a nice cold slab. And I don't mean the 24-can type either. One day you're collecting Tazos, and the next you are a spazzo. I only know one way to ease the pain. Pick a way to go that the doctors didn't know, and they might give the fucking germ your fucking name. Let me take a quick ad break, during which I'd like to make an apology to go here in a bracket. That Tazo-Spazo rhyme? I wish it weren't mine. Where'd I get my fucking poetic license? A packet? So kiss the wife for me. You can live quite happily watching TV together as you sup. But just like a bad dreamo, you'll play a game called chemo. Spot, match, win. Your numbers have come up.
Often private schools, what they do with the drugs, they bring in a criminal, right? A guy in jail, he's out of jail now. He's looking really bad, and they put him in front of the class, and they talk about how they used to get on the heroin, and that they had to break into houses, which led them into the criminal scene, which meant they got into bank robbery and they were still hooked on heroin and then they went to jail. And he said they interviewed the kids after, and he said what the kids are thinking is, this guy's had a fucking great life. He's fucking far better than my dad. My dad's a boring fucking prick. And look at this guy, if I had to pick between him and my dad, I'd want his life. And look at him now. They all say the same thing, look at him now. He's alive, he's getting paid to go around saying about drug business.
Drugs are fucking fun, pal. Factor that fucking in to your drug fucking offensive type. Health fucking warning. There ain't a lot that's fun, pal. Old age and school and dreams of a life that will never be. Sexless nights, wasted schemes. Your horizon still receding. Speeding hope that's fruitless. Sudden cliff and skidding, then descent to twisted rest.
Sacred temple of the Emerald Buddha, serene and total peace.
They're not fun, pal.
Sacred temple of the Emerald Buddha, serene and total peace.
I could have stayed at home, pal, and lived a joyless life. But where the fuck's the fun in that? Superannuation, wife, the whole fucking package. For me it never suited. A soft cock life and limp death. Go and get fucking rooted. There might be fun in poetry, an art and being literate. It never hit the spot for me, nor you, though you won't admit to it.
Sacred temple of the Emerald Buddha, hear the distant gong beat. Sacred temple of the Emerald Buddha, hear the distant gong beat.
You say you got a PhD. Good for you, my son. How smart you fucking need to be to work out the drugs are fun. Have a fucking bash, pal. Take this suspect load and give it to a mate of mine. Lives on the Patpong Road. You ever felt the warming waves in the Gulf of Old Siam? Ever wanted to ever be a different fucking man?
Sacred temple of the Emerald Buddha, royal parcels in my teeth. Sacred temple of the Emerald Buddha, royal parcels in my teeth.
You need to hear the Mekong flood. It's an awesome fucking sound. Take this package quickly, pal. They come to chain me fucking down. They bolt me to a concrete floor. Don't get all moral, son. There's 60 of us goes in here. We all think the drugs are fun. 50 years in a Thailand hell. 20 grams of smack of my ass. Why? 'Cause drugs are fucking fun. Why the fuck you need to ask? Let's do the deal.
you read the fucking paper and you read their book reviews and all the CD reviews and everything, and the whole and fucking Stephen Downs restaurant reviews and the whole thing, and there's this fucking standard where everything's got to be really excellent and good, and that sort of like gives me the shits.
Julius Seizure, Act 3, Scene 2, verses 73 to 118. Peace! Lo, let us hear what Anthony can say. You gentle Romans, peace, ho, let us hear him. I come to praise, not to bury the shoddy and the rooted, to lament for the passing of those men safari-suited who'd flatten you with mindless glee when they got really neutered. Behind the bottle shop you'd see the roughest justice done. Yeah, it was assault and battery, but with a sense of fun, and a drink together after, when the ambulance had come. Who'd have thought you'd ever miss the barmaid's brutal snarl, and guys looking at you strange when she says, "What's yours, doll?" "Wanna go," is all you can recall before the blow and grand mal. You got a fucking mouth on you, those mustache yobs would say, back when being literate was something to hide away, and being mediocre meant you played in the VFA. But now everyone is talking, and it's oh so très witty. And all those fucking DJs and their flashy repartee, it's always breakfast down in hell, and radio compulsory. From McGuinness to Maguire to Douglas fucking Ayton, there's a whole new type of person that's taken over this damn nation, and I'm not talking some racist crap about Asian immigration, 'cause if you're a yobbo now, you're rooted. No one says, "I'll have you, pal." Listen to Adrian Martin, John Casimir, et al. Excellence is demanded, or the critics give you hell. Everyone's got a fucking voice. There's personae, right and left. They must learn this stuff in school. I mean, what fucking next? Even the EG cadets crap on, then move to the London desk. Who needs another columnist to point out the thing about living in the suburbs is it ain't like Berlin, just in case all of you in Melton were ever wondering. I tell you what can get fucked, and that's fucking them for starters. If there's one thing we don't need, it's another mouthy smartass slagging off the guys who wear footy shorts and zapatas. You know what we've swapped them for? People who say rad, and blokes who go around reading books on being a modern dad. Why, everything's so cool these days, I can't even understand Telstra ads. Excellence around us like a fucking voodoo curse. There's Helen Garner's sister's book. There's all the modern verse. There's world's best practice and businessmen talking terse on mobile phones on a mobile net that reaches round the earth. Everything is excellent. Nowadays, there's nothing worse than saying, "I don't give a shit." You'll be in a fucking hearse, driven by some consultant git who's analysed your system and wants to fully integrate you into modern wisdom. He's gonna take you by the balls and flush you down the cistern. You know what killed the Anzacs? It weren't the fucking Turks. It was the Australians coming after them, talking up the perks of fucking multi-skilling and how the internet fucking works. So give me back the good old days, though I know they really stank, when everyone could seem to tell when you were talking wank, and we didn't all have to go around pretending to be Yanks. Give us back those great ideas that made this nation free, like the end of season footy trip, and then and inefficiency. And if they aren't part of freedom, well, who gives a fuck? Not me. Why find a voice now, at this stage, when silence was just fine? Why learn to talk in coffee shops? It's a fucking wank for mine. Coat hanger one of those effete guys. Next thing you know, he's crying. The one good thing about dumbing down is you're not so fucking smart. I thought Australia was the country that had a silent heart. It's time we shut fucking up! I know what. I'll start. Oh, another one from Ron Hitler. Go, boy. Cancer? I dream of cancer. Cancer can eat my bones. Oh, lucky I would consider myself to be racked by cancerous moans. A fate more evil, a life more lost, the devil for me foresaw. Imagine the day I woke to find the Malats had moved next door. Was I a man of the bourgeoisie? Of course I was more than that. I was a latte-drinking, clever-thinking, documentary-making prat. I ran my own film company. I was an artist. I was sure. And then I heard my neighbor say, I'm Alex Malat. I'm in next door. My films explored the evil side of mankind's unknowable self. My kids all went to private schools. My wife, she bloomed with health. The critics applauded my visual style and my dissection to the core of the Freudian, Jungian evil id. Then the Malats moved next door. Ivan, of course, was doing time, but his brothers are all free men. There's me, there's Walter, said Alex Malat, and Richard. In all, there's 10. Me and the wife moved in last week, and when Richard's coming, we're unsure. You like films? Well, I'll bring over some shots. Wink, wink. We only live next door. A shadow, a pall, hung over my days. The first weeks after I found out. The bruschetto was off, the antipasto stale at the cafes where we'd all hang out. It's good for your art, said my cameraman. They're just the sort your films explore. Fuck my films, I told Toby, you pretentious git. My fucking films don't knock on my door. My wife was a painter, sculptor too. Her studio was set up at home. I can't stay here, she'd scream at me. It's impossible to work alone. Her exhibition was coming up soon. A review in the Age for sure. Just stay calm, I'd scream. So loudly, too. I bet you they could have heard next door. A couple of months after they came, I got a call from my children's school. Your daughter's been caught smoking pot, and your son started playing the fool. The counselors asked them both to say if their home is quite safe and secure. By his tone, I knew straight away he lay the blame right at my door. And so my next film was a critical flop for the first time in my career. He seems to have lost his ability to show evil up close and near. I read that review and I gave a laugh. Fucking critics always think they know more, but fucking critics should try living up close to the people who live next door. Toby left me the very next month to shoot a Gillian Armstrong flick. You know, he told me when he left, I always thought you were a soft-cock prick. Funding dried up. Grants turned down. My wife couldn't take any more. I'm leaving, she said. I'm getting out. I can't live with them next door. But by the way she said it and how she left, I knew the Malats were her excuse. She married a successful film artist, not a failure. The final proof came when I heard 3 months later she'd moved in with some director bore whose film was at Cannes. She was gone, but I couldn't blame the people next door. My children, they left to go to some alternative school where all the hippie children go. After that, we sort of lost contact. I last heard from them 2 years ago. I got a job in advertising, shooting commercials. On video, what's more. No Super 8, only mainstream crap designed for the people who live next door. And yesterday came my greatest shock. Oh, truth comes bound in pain. I went to next door's intercom and asked for Alex Malat by name. Who? Said a voice, incredulous. Why, they're not living here no more. They moved out nearly 2 years ago. Hey, aren't you the weirdo who lives next door? No matter how easy or sweet life is, be sure, your life will change. There is a shadow hangs over us that leaves none of us the same. There is another person waiting to come, buried in your deepest core. You'll be found out who you really are lives behind your very own door.
No one's dropping Trower, right?
No one's heard of Robin Trower. No one had heard of Robin Trower back then either.
Robin Trower was the series of Robin Trower.
Sounds like a kind of fish or something.
There's 7 different movies at the city multiplex. Let's both not go to school today and give the brain a rest. You can't say missing one day could be taken seriously. You can be sure that no one will tell either families. She thought about it for a while, let go her old school bag. Okay, she told him, I'm with you. Both teachers said, let's wag. That day, Constable Harrison was browsing city streets. He walked along commandingly, up and down Swanston Street. A skateboarding kid flew right down the railings of St. Paul's. Filthy move, said Cut Harrison. But hold on, duty calls. He walked right into Brash's, and he walked out suspiciously. Here, he told the skateboarding kid, just flogged you this CD. The kid just pushed his dreadlocks back and looked up in surprise. All he saw was a drug-crazed stare deep in the policeman's eyes. I'm disappointed in you, dude, the skater told the cop. If we all had your attitude, it would be just great. Not. I'm gonna let you off this once, but just you look out, son. Next time I'll call the cops, my boy. Like I care, said Harrison. Harrison at the city looked. These were the real clean streets. Gangs of polite teenagers played rap songs like Help the Police. The new gardens were growing where the casino once stood. The trains they ran band smack on time and people thought they would. Husbands sat in discreet cafes and flirted with their wives. I'll give you head, old girlfriend said. Don't worry, said the guys. Opposite day. Harrison saw the teachers both and said, shouldn't you be at school? Yeah, that's right, cop, the teacher said, and Harrison said, cool. Got any dope? The policeman asked, and then he looked disgusted, cause both teachers admitted, nope. That's right, folks, they're busted. I'm taking a dim view of this. The teachers' faces paled. They wouldn't have been in trouble with a cop from New South Wales. I'm taking you back home right now. Don't dare not call me pig. And you can explain why you were caught drug-free to your kids. I hope this is a lesson that all of you understand. Wag school and the next thing you know, you're in a paddy van. You can imagine, I suppose, the scene in the kitchen. The teenage sons and daughters weep, the teachers think, bitchin'. What's become of our social state? Where does come to this? A teenage child just can't control their folks' rebelliousness. Later that night, the youngest child sat reading in her bed. Don't stay up late, she told her mum, and to herself she said, I've heard that once in primary school they had opposite day, where what you said and what you meant both went two different ways. So if you like someone, you said, I think you really suck. And then said, on opposite day, that meant they were in luck. But imagine if this happened, not just in primary school, and everywhere and everyone followed this kiddie rule. Imagine an opposite world, though it is hard to do. Newspapers for illiterates, leaders say untruths. The best people this world ignores, while the brats it coddles. Rock stars are seen as serious, also supermodels. In this world, the actors would be treated as if they're kings, and ordinary folks would just be like anonymous nothings. The little girl put down her book and rest her sleepy head, but that world could never exist. Thank you, Satan, she said.
It's all very well being dedicated to art. Yeah, that's right. It's not if you're on road at 60, and you haven't got your super and you're at fucking, you live on a single pension and you'll be a fucking answer.
Rebel without a paunch. So my hair is sort of thinning and a colour's been applied. And yeah, okay, about the paunch, I guess I sort of lied. But you won't hear me whining like those fucking teeny stars when I'm standing at the mirror and I'm playing air guitar. Rock and roll is music for the angry and depraved. So you can't really rock and roll till you're middle-aged. Moaning between head jobs, rock stars say they're so depressed. They should try out a real job and a boss that's not impressed. If it's so fucking hard being young, beautiful and rich, come on down the office, cockhead. I'd be glad for us to switch. The prodigy despised normal men. Keith stuttered his own tongue. But the pain of that don't compare to actually being one. Ooh, it must be so fucking hard for all the train spotting crew to have to live in an alienated life like in the proletariat milieu, while all us normal middle-class wanker types are trying not to have such a great fucking time working 40 years then dying. Every fucking adolescent moans about how they're so deprived. What do you fucking think it's like turning 45? Oh no, I say to the wife, another album's due, another tour of the world. Oh, what am I going to do? Oh, it's such a hassle, the fans just won't leave me alone. Remember the great old days with 3 kids and alone? Can't go to Safeway's, got a photo shoot, and I'm stoned. By the way, I nearly forgot. Madonna phoned. Hey, who doesn't want to rock and roll all day and party every night? Every adult's a boring turd. That's exactly fucking right. You'll never join the normal world, says your anguished teenage voice. Well, I don't ever remember someone giving me a fucking choice. So you can sing about rebellion and experiment with drug binging, but you won't get really angry till your teenage kids start whinging.
Just, putting distortion on the vocal and everything, out of tune, bad guitar bits isn't really much fun to listen to. They could be right. Maybe Blur did achieve what they set out to achieve, which was to make their songs grow on you after initial. But I just smell that dirty, it was just all too easy. It was like, yes, I've heard that Chorea are making a really different album this time. What a courageous move, 5 stars.
I've been listening to Silverchair. Now, I wish I was a freak. Been reading The River Ophelia. I'd love a masochistic streak, but I am just a normal guy. I even use a capital S. Why, I'd rather tell the papers that I actually cross-dress. Women who run with men who hate wolves just left me unimpressed. I'm sure that I'd be happier if I could be more depressed. To get anywhere these days, it seems, a problem's a necessity. Your father's gay, heroin's passé, just another fashion accessory. I tried recovered memory, but that put me in a bind, 'cause I became hypnotically aware my dad was really kind. You might have once been traumatized, but we're not all similarly blessed. I'm sure that I'd be happier if I could be more depressed. I went along to the men's movement. "Stop crying, girl," they'd shout. Steve Biddulph, who wrote that manhood book, got up and punched my fucking lights out. I went along to the women's room, but all I did was get it wrong. I told 'em Smack Your Bitch Up was my current favourite song. But the prodigy's so confronting, I tried vainly to protest. I'm sure that I'd be happier if I could be more depressed. I lied to the gambling helpline, said I'd made my family poor. When I asked what chance recovery, they quoted me 9 to 4. I rang that Alan Jones guy up, but he couldn't help me either. "You a battler or a bludger?" he said. It turns out I was neither. "Come back when you're a stereotype if you want to be in the press." I'm sure that I'd be happier if I could be more depressed. Finally, I told the wife the reason I'd been so undemanding, and what was worse, she took it well and was totally understanding. Those self-destructing relationships, it's simply too much fuss. Who's afraid of Virginia Woolf? Well, I gotta say, not us. Would you believe I like my kids? Can you get more mentally messed? I'm sure that I'd be happier if I could be more depressed. Why is it just so hard for me to take things way too far? I'd like to travel beyond good and evil, but first I gotta wash the car. I'd like to get a nipple ring and connect it to my Dodger, but sometimes it just doesn't seem to suit a bloke whose name is Roger. I'd be a member of the underclass, but they'd laugh at how I dressed. I'm sure that I'd be happier if I could be more depressed. Oh well, so it looks like I gotta give up my dream of joining the bad seeds. Those guys just can't handle confronting concepts like thanks and please. Sneaking 16 things in the 12 items only aisle will be my biggest sin. It's the shopping center of modern consciousness that I will stay trapped in. I buy my junk from off the streets. I find the trading posts the best. I'm sure that I'd be happier if I could be more depressed. I just know I can't be creative. Why? I'm not depressed enough. Yet I wish I was the guy who wrote, "If you're creative, get stuffed." There's a competition going on to have the most painful lives, but the pain you feel from 9 to 5, I guess, don't qualify. Your life might be miserable, but that don't stop your art from being crappier. I'm sure that I would be more depressed if I wasn't happier.
I don't know, what do you think of the crossfade? So up comes, we've got to love that.
It starts with drum.
We've got to love that.
Start with singing.
Well, that's might be good. So the singing comes down from the chorus of, then up comes.
So lose that bit.
I know that the Romans came after the Greeks. I went to a lecture to hear Robert Hughes speak. I'm honored, cultured, literate. All of my life I've had one regret. I wish I'd slept with more girls. I wish I'd done more drugs. I wish you'd all go and get fucked. I wish I'd done more drugs. I wish I'd slept with more girls. I wish you'd all go and get fucked. They told me yarbos would turn out no good. I did my homework and they turned into hoods. I have a family, I'm happy and proud. I said no to anything I wasn't allowed. I wish I slept with more girls. I wish I'd done more drugs. I wish you'd all go and get fucked. I wish I'd done more drugs. I wish I'd slept with more girls. I wish you'd hovers overhead. My family come gather round my bed. Come my colleagues, come literate friends. Here is my last wish as my life ends. Well, okay, she says, I'll come on back, or you come to my place. Well, you gotta love that. I've heard parents speak of their children on stage. You gotta love that at primary school age. When driving along, the first time you see your band street poster accidentally, Friday night after work, old Steve wore out to bed. There's beer in the fridge, you gotta love that. It's only a lump, you gotta love that. When the tests are done, results are back, unleaded's got cheaper, a seat on the wing. When at last you're sure, she keeps looking. The Kerrigan's castle and Kafka's unsure, literary illusions that aren't too obscure. You're in bed by 10, you gotta love that. After too many nights laid back to back, some racist bastard says, why you little black? They shake cockatoo columns, talking right back. You gotta love that. And the phone finally rings. It's the girl calling when Paul Robeson sings. Lust before it goes away, and then when it's back, flashing high beams to warn of a speed trap. You gotta love that. Your band writes a slow track, and some people like it. You gotta love that. And some people like it. You gotta love that. And some people like it. You gotta love that. And some people like it. You gotta love that.